This is just something I noticed that when the microphone is not muted, everyone can hear you. It's just an interesting thing. So I'm going to reintroduce Brenda Muhammad, Executive Director of FORCE, Focusing Our Resources for Community Enlightenment, was formed by a small group of neighbors to tackle community problems by drawing on inner strengths to develop social and educational programs that enlighten and inspire residents to collective action. Our goal is to demonstrate how pooling resources can transform our neighborhoods into decent places of living. Brenda Muhammad is concerned with preserving people, places, and things. In order to promote community resiliency, she educates and engages community members in preservation methods. She holds 2 master's degrees, one in documentary film and history, and liberal studies and graduate certifications in cultural heritage preservations and public history. She's doing graduate research towards engaging Black Syracuse in holistic preservations. Preserving People, Places, and Things is a thesis film. Oh, and she has a thesis film. This is My Neighborhood. Through FORCE, she puts her research into action. Let's welcome Brenda Muhammad. I'm going to stop sharing so that she can share. Thanks for coming, Brenda. I think you're on mute. I did that. Can you hear me, Brenda Muhammad? Am I still muted? It looks like I am not muted anymore. Oh, good. Okay. Brenda Muhammad, are you with us? Let's see. Ask to unmute. Let's see if that works. Oh, there you go. Are you with us? Can't hear you yet, Brenda. I can tell that you're not muted, though. Brenda Muhammad, are you there? Kilo Delta 2 Uniform Charlie Quebec. Oh, 1 second. Okay. Give her a moment. Okay, no problem. Well, what I can do is, if you'd like, I can, okay. If you'd like, what I can do is I'll just continue. I'll just briefly reshare and I'll just play the, let's see, what screen am I looking? Okay. I'll just briefly go back through some of the videos and you can let me know when you're ready, Brenda. You ready?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, so now I'm going to see if I'm able to share my screen.
Excellent.
Oh, it says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay, now host has enabled participant screen sharing.
Let's see.
Should be able to share now.
Okay, one moment.
Let me make sure I did that right. Oh, yeah. Oh, we see it.
You see me. Okay. So is it a full screen or just part?
What I'm seeing is it's not the full screen. So you may have to switch sides.
Hang on.
Oh, you have to turn on the slideshow. There you go.
How about now? Am
Perfect.
I there yet?
Yes. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you could do that.
How's my sound?
Your sound is good.
Good. Well, sorry for that, guys. I'm happy to be here. And what I'm going to try to do is this presentation is going to be called Making Our Way. These baby steps that are going to be leading towards big steps. So we just went through a series of baby steps to get you to be able to see and hear me. And so hopefully it'll work out all right. Ooh, so what I'm hoping to discuss with you all, I'm hoping to thank you for allowing me to be here. I'm hoping to find out who's in the room, let you know a little bit about Force and what we do and why, and where we're headed, where we hope to go with our nonprofit, and leave you with a call to action and opportunity for questions and answers. How's that sound? It's all right. So my gratitude. I don't know whether I got all these names right, but Jesse Alexander, I thank you for this opportunity. The NRAO Supernova Ham Radio Project, this cohort from the Exploring the Electromagnetic Spectrum. Thank you for having me this evening. And in advance, not even advance, because I already need to apologize for the snafu getting in here. So any mistakes that we're making along the way, it's all about love. Nothing's personal, not trying to do anything, but I'm just so happy to be here. And our path may be a little bit skewed because I wasn't really sure what to talk to you about. But a wise man named Jesse Alexander once told me that we're all amateurs in amateur radio, because I was worried about our experience and where we're trying to go with it. And I took that to heart, that amateur, it's right there in the name. Why didn't I think of it? So not to be so hard on ourselves, but I was hoping that I could find out who was in the room. I know this cohort is here, but I'm just like, I see first names that I can't pronounce. And where in the world are you all? I know you're somewhere. So if you could pronounce your first name, I don't know if they're allowed to be off of mute to announce their first name and then like where in the world they are. That's enough for me to know who's in the room. So should I call? I don't want to call their names because I might say it wrong.
Well, why don't you all come off mute and just introduce yourself briefly.
Hello, my name is Kimberly Sanabria, and I am in Decatur, Georgia right now.
Okay, I used to live near there. Welcome,
cool.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for coming.
Who's next?
My name's Logan Slimp, and I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Logan?
Yes,
I've
ma'am.
never been to Albuquerque, but thanks for being here.
Of course.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Belle. I'm also in Decatur.
Okay. Welcome. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Najan, and I'm currently in Prairie View, Texas.
Najan in Prairie View, Texas. I've never been to Texas.
You're not missing out.
My husband said, "What'd you say?" Okay.
Hi,
Who else?
I'm Erin. I'm Erin, and I'm currently in Williamsburg, Virginia.
Oh, hi, Erin. I've heard great things about Williamsburg. Okay,
It's a cool place.
I'll have to visit it one day, or at least, what's it make QSO? Is that how you say it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, you could have a QSO with somebody in Decatur.
Yes.
Oh, Williamsburg,
Okay.
I'm sorry. And did we get everyone? I think.
Is there a Marion? Or Brandian? Maybe, I don't know. That might be it for right now.
I'm from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Okay.
That was Brenda.
Is it Braden? Brandon? How do you say it?
Yeah, it's Braden.
Oh, Braden, I
Braden.
apologize.
Thank you. I went to Pittsburgh once. Yeah, family reunion. Thank you so much for having me.
Did we get everyone?
Looks like a Marian, but they could be on break. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's good. Thank you for having me. As he said, I am Brenda Muhammad, and I'm coming to you from Syracuse, New York. And I'm happy to be here. It was stressful getting here and wondering about, oh my goodness, there's going to be people in the room. Am I going to be okay? But you seem like a friendly audience. So let's see what I put together here. FORCE, that's our nickname, our acronym. Mr. Alexander called us a mutual aid organization. And I never thought much about that word until he said it. And then I had to look it up. I was like, by Jove, we're mutual aid. So, so basically, FORCE, we started our organization in 1996, very loosely, just a couple of neighbors getting together, trying to figure out how to solve some community problems and like, what can we do about it, you know? And we wanted to have some educational and social programs and things that would inspire our neighborhood to do things collectively. And in the beginning, we weren't a nonprofit, anything like that. We just did a couple neighborhood cleanups, pick up some trash and things like that. And then at some point in 2006, we decided to apply to become a nonprofit organization. And it was a little slim process. Syracuse University helped us get there. But we basically wanted to improve the quality of life in our community. And we would see a need and try to come up with a solution, because really what our communities need, we already have. We just have to join together. We have to, everyone is an iceberg. You might know somebody, oh, they play basketball, oh, they do this or that, but you don't know what else they do. They could be I don't even know how to say the word, somebody who plays the cello. They could be anything. People have skills, but you only see them as what sticks out of the water. You don't see what's deep or the connections that they have. But basically, our community has all that we need, right? So Hurricane Katrina, I know Hurricane Katrina did something to me. I wasn't in New Orleans, none of that, but I would see the television broadcast and I would see people that looked like me. People who weren't able to evacuate. They didn't have food. They were stuck on rooftops. So many things they did not have. And that shouldn't have been. We always think that the government's going to take care of us and they're going to come and they're going to scoop right in and they're going to help us. Yeah, meanwhile, they're trying to help everybody else at the same time. So we have to have community resilience. We have to help ourselves, self-sufficient, self-preservation. And so that's one of the things that's behind FORCE. And another thing is that inspired, at least me, I'm selfish, me, that inspired me. I saw a gentleman downtown and he wasn't well. He was having some sort of trouble. And then he fell, he collapsed, he suddenly collapsed. And the only thing that we knew to do, there were 3 of us involved in this. There was a lady that was walking down the street in the opposite direction from me. There was a lady sitting in her car and the man staggered down the street and he fell across the hood of the lady's car and hit the curb. And the lady in the car was a photographer, and she like took pictures while he was in the process of falling. But all in all, we called 911, waited and everything like that. We couldn't help him. We couldn't approach him because he had a multi-tool in his hand, and we didn't know why he was staggering. We didn't know. But if there's anything you take away from anything I say today, is if you see someone in a situation, call 911. And if possible, to stay close by until they arrive. I'm not saying be all up on the person or anything like that. But what it did, that situation made us desire to be able to learn CPR or to be able to help someone. So many of the programs that we do at Force come from somebody needing something, or something happens and we decide to, like, wait a minute, we need to learn how to do that. So it's almost like each one teach one. So we are a volunteer-driven organization. I don't know whether this thing is in front of what you're trying to see, but we don't have any paid staff, but we offer low cost and no cost programs and services. So we may apply for a grant, or we may try to get scholarships for people, or we may offer the class, like Heart Association, American Heart Association. We're certified instructors, and we a first aid CPR class in our area would cost $95 to $90, however you say, like $100 in our community. And they're usually in the outskirts. When we charge for first aid CPR at Force, we charge $50. If we charge, normally we try to secure scholarships or things like that to make it available to our community, because we are Syracuse. We have the university and all, but we are in the top 10 of poverty in the US.
Wow, I had no idea.
Oh yeah, you would never know. And we segregation is a big thing. I believe we're in the top 10 of that also. So some of the programs that we offer: first aid and CPR. We offer safe sitter, babysitter training, and safe at home, which teaches young children how to be safe while they're at home, internet safety, all those sort of things. And the safe sitter, it's like a babysitting class, but they can be entrepreneurs. And when they take a class from us at Force, which most of those are scholarship based, when they do take a class, they leave our class with the training, but we also give them entrepreneur kit. They get this messenger bag with all the forms that they need. They get a little CPR kit. They get a receipt book, flashlight, what else? They get the hookup, the t-shirt, all the things, all the forms to interview their clients. So if they decide to accept a babysitting job, they have that. And we're in negotiation with a credit union to try to get them set up with a little financial education and starting an account.
Wow.
And so, we're trying to do those sort of things. We do community preparedness workshops and trainings, reading and discussion forums, cultural education. We did this variety show called A Chance to Be Seen variety show, where you know how you might have a little talent, you think you can sing in the shower, or you can dance, you can do something, but you don't really have an audience, or you're shy. The Chance to Be Seen variety show was such that people in our community had a chance to perform, and we don't let people boo. They can't hiss, they can't put you down. There's supposed to be a loving environment. And the one that we had in July, gosh, was that July? Wow. We even had a grant that we were allowed to pay the performers. So, little good jujus that happen, things is coming down. So we're excited about things like that. Let's see what else we got here. So one of the things with the why we are really big on community resiliency and training is because, I don't know whether you knew this, first of all, in a community, our ability to respond to a disaster or recover depends on the level of preparedness of each person. So don't count on me to know everything. Don't count on somebody else. We each have to learn something and be able to apply it, because it starts at home with individuals and households. It expands as a ripple. The neighborhood needs to be prepared, the private sector, non-governmental, the government, all that. But studies show that African-American households are less likely to be prepared for disaster than white Americans, right? If you're low income, you're less likely to be prepared. And studies show that African-Americans communities, see, we're predominantly here, at least on the south side, the Howard City or just our south side is like 70% Black. Our schools are 70% Black, 70 plus. So we're vulnerable. We're disproportionately vulnerable. And in disasters, and we get injured and sometimes arrested and things like that. And, you know, think about when you see some mother trying to cross a police line to get to her baby, but the police or whoever is trying to secure that area, and bad things can happen. So we try to be conscious and teach about these things. We try to demonstrate and inspire collective action and all the things that we do. We try to be intentional. I don't even think that's a word, but we try to be that. Intentional. Oh, I apologize again because I am silly. So bear with me.
No sweat. No sweat. We're all amateurs.
So, right, amateurs. That's right. That's right. And so, like our first aid in CPR, we don't just do certification classes. We do not as much as we did in the past, but community events, and we train in the babies. There's a little shot that you might see. We had this little girl teaching her how to do CPR, hands-only CPR, because that's a big thing right now, especially during the COVID era. We are not putting our mouths on anybody if we don't have to. But when we do teach our classes, we give people a keychain that has a face shield, so that if you are so inclined and so inspired and you want to give that mouth-to-mouth breaths, you be protected by that one-use face shield. Let me see. So some of our programs that we fall under the Ready Syracuse is the Safe Set of the First Aid CPR, our Syracuse Stellar Amateur Radio Club that we founded maybe a year, 2 years ago. And we have been blessed to receive a grant from ARDC to help us create awareness about amateur radio, especially in the Black community, which is where we live. And so when we do community events, or when we teach a first aid CPR class, safe sit or whatever, we're giving them the ICAM coloring books, comic books to create awareness about that. We have a monthly Zoom call on Syracuse Stellar about amateur radio. I think last week, what was it? It was about the call signs, the secret meaning or whatever behind the call signs. And my husband's across the room. He's like cheering me on and feeding me information because we're a team, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Our organization is very small. Like I said, we're volunteer based, but the majority of the volunteer is myself and my husband. We're like certified in everything. And he's a retired fire captain from Fire Prevention Bureau. And so we conduct a lot of the classes that we currently have. Let's see. Oh, am I running out of time? Am I still good?
No, you're still good.
Okay. So last year, was it last year? Okay. So you might hear me say last year. I'm missing a gap of time. I had COVID pneumonia and was hospitalized on the ventilator, the whole everything. So a couple months are just like missing. And so coming after that, you know, I'm relearning how to walk and things like that. I'm in a wheelchair. You can see I got my voice back because when I first came, from the coma and the ventilator. I couldn't talk, but I'm
Wow.
talking now. And
Yeah,
we're
you
here
sound
and
good.
we're doing projects. Thank you.
Sound
So
good
I
and
want to
strong.
remind you, COVID is still out there. It is still out there. Protect yourself at all times. That was my public service announcement. So we had a program called Community Preparedness, Simple Activities for Everyone. And we used the FEMA's curriculum, their stuff to do that, to offer it in our community. And we had monthly sessions, but then we had quarterly, we would invite a bigwig speaker in. So during the series that we did that, we had Charles Sharp, who is the CEO and founder of the Black Emergency Managers Association. He's out of the DC area. And we love him, and we're members of BEMA. We had Chief Kenton Buckner, who was the chief of police of Syracuse. He's since doing something else. We had our deputy mayor, Sharon Owens, and they each talked about topics. Like Charles Sharp with BEMA, like, are you going to be ready? If a disaster hits, are you going to be ready? Syracuse, are you ready? The chief of police was dealing with interacting with the police, especially during preparedness or disasters and things like that. The fire chief, Chief Michael Mons, was, community preparedness in Syracuse Fire Department, because we need to know how to interact with one another. And the deputy mayor, she talked about the city of Syracuse and things like that. So also, I did whole community preparedness. My husband did hunting for home hazards and others, because we had to fill in those other 6 times. So, but it was a good series, and we continue doing things like that. Let's see what else we got. Oh, and here's some of the people, like we did mass hands-only CPR training. We trained the young people. We some organizations like Syracuse Habitat for Humanity and our community foundation, different nonprofits will come to us for training also. And then we had a senior citizen center where we were teaching them hands-only CPR. So we try to reach everybody we can reach, or at least create awareness. So here's why. Not why, but one of the reasons why. Now, you may have heard of Citizens Corp, like
Yes.
the United States. We're supposed to have this. That's everywhere. I got air quotes going. I don't know whether you can see me or not, but it's everywhere. But it's supposed to strengthen the community safety and preparedness. It's supposed to engage the community at all sectors, and it's supposed to be administered by FEMA. But here in Syracuse, New York, it's not implemented locally. We get nothing. We get nothing. Not us. Not for us. CERT teams. Anybody heard of CERT teams? Yes, you probably got CERT where you at. Not here.
We do.
We don't have CERT.
Wow.
We do not have CERT. When the sexy went out of CERT years ago, they stopped doing CERT. It's been over, it's definitely over 10 years, because we asked in 2010 about starting one. And CERT, it's up to the municipality to implement that. So we do not have CERT.
Oh.
So we do things CERT-ish or certain, or put the F reinforcing it first. We might do NERT. We don't call it any of that stuff, but we try to do as much as we can that would be similar to CERT to get people prepared. And bear with us. You have to do the best that you can do, right? So if no one comes to save you, you better learn how to save yourself, sink or swim. So those are some of the things we're trying to do. So we have new programs coming out. Whether you can see my little hat that says Stop the Bleed.
Stop the Bleed.
We are implementing Stop the Bleed. We have become, as we always do, certified instructors of this, that, or the other. So we are Stop the Bleed instructors. And we have a program that is coming through where we will be training people in Stop the Bleed. And we will be providing them with a Stop the Bleed kit. It will have a tourniquet, it will have gloves, the scissors. There's probably one behind me. I don't know. Can't reach. But so we have serious issues where people are at threat of bleeding. I'm just gonna put it like that. It doesn't have to be a gunshot, which we got a lot of them. Doesn't have to be stabbing. We got a lot of. You can get hit by a car and need someone to stop your bleeding because you can bleed out in less than 5 minutes.
Wow.
And the average for response, we have a good response time here in Syracuse. We're what, like 4 minutes?
Wow.
But
That's
still,
good.
between that 4 and 5 minutes, that's kind of close to So your best bet at being safe is to have people around you who know what to do and have the proper tools to do what need to be done until the first responders arrive. So we will be giving out those Stop the Bleed kits. And we have another program that's called Until Help Arrives. Now with the Until Help Arrives, not only will you learn Stop the Bleed, so that is how to pack a wound, apply pressure, pack a wound, or use a tourniquet. You will also learn how to do hands-only CPR so that you can give compressions until those responders arrive. STEP is a program for youth, student tools, emergency planning. And so that is, I think they're 5th and 6th graders. Middle school, I don't have it right in front of me, but it's a young people. And AWARE stands for Alert, Well Prepared, and Ready for Emergencies. We are trying to make our community aware. So we want to let them know what to do, and we'll offer training. We will also give out packets to our 6-block radius that will allow them to know things to store in your home, what to do in severe weather. There's a lot of resources from the FEMA Government Publishing Office. The O stands for something, office, I think. But we have a lot of the resources and getting that information in the hands of the community members so that they can prepare themselves. Because up north where we're at, I don't know if you know, around Christmas time when like Buffalo, which is 3 hours away, got snowed in with what they have. The airport was closed for a long time. My brother didn't have water or heat for over a week in the wintertime, December. So knowing what to do is very important. And we're trying to increase knowledge about amateur radio, because when the cell towers go down in the landlines, all that other stuff, when there's amateur radio is our hope. So trying to get involved with that. And we've been trying to learn about WinLink and about all that. And we've joined Aries.
Great.
We're trying to learn a little bit, and we don't know a lot, but right now we're the ones who have to go and get it and bring it back and learn together, get people inspired. So that's what we are hoping to do. And I know I'm like, blah, 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 because Margaret Mead said, never depend on governments or institutions to solve any major problems. All social change comes from the passion of individuals. I don't know. Like Bob Marley, get up, stand up. Okay, right. So you got to do something. So we can't
I'm gonna
wait.
Steal this quote.
This quote is new to me. I'm used to the one about something about, oh, it only takes a few people to do something. That's the only thing that ever does, or something like that. But no, she was like, listen, they're not coming for you. There's no one coming for us. We have to be us. We have to be ready. Stay ready so we don't have to get ready. And so those are some of the things that we're trying to do. So I wanted to have some calls to action. You could choose any of these things, but these are things to think about, right? Play an important role in the overall emergency management strategy. You, any one of you, me, play an important role. Reduce hazards in and around your homes. Prepare an emergency supply kit and household emergency plan. Monitor emergency communications carefully. That's where we at, trying to learn about these emergency communications, right? Volunteer with an established organization. enroll in, what does it say? I got this thing in front of me. In emergency response training courses, okay? Enroll in some, you're in something. Right now, learn about this amateur radio and the spectrum. You're in something, right? Learn about community alerts and warnings, evacuation routes, and how to get critical information. Take training in preparedness, first aid, and response skills. Practice skills and personal plans through periodic drills in multiple settings. Network and be able to help others. Participate in community feedback opportunities. Report suspicious activity. And volunteer, volunteer, volunteer. Say it with me, volunteer. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But yes, volunteering is a big thing. It's a big thing. That's all I got. That's all I got for you. But you can have questions and answers. I'll try to make up an answer if I don't have one. No, I'll try to find out one if I don't. Are there
Well,
any
that was
questions or
great. I really
answers?
appreciate you and the efforts of you and your husband. That's great. It's really great. And so, hey, folks, here's your chance. Ask any questions you have.
Ooh,
I have a
stuff in the
question.
chat.
So first,
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
very impressed by how many programs you do and how much you guys like handle. And my question is, how do you manage to handle so much and not, I don't know, like how do you guys manage to do so much at one time? Because it's very impressive.
You're so nice because you didn't say it not go crazy because you done figured out we are a little crazy for doing all those things. Thank you so much. Well, actually, we're trying to learn how to do more so that we can allow more people to come in and volunteer and help. So right now we are, we've been structuring our financial matters and all our, like, got our QuickBooks all up and certain things that we were doing. And I used to always tease and say, it's us four and no more. And my husband said the other day, what'd you say about the two? But something. There's two if they only knew. He said, us four and no, wait, us four and no more is only two if you only knew. But no, we're trying to, we're both retired. And this is a labor of love, but we do want more people involved and we have unique things. We're seeking interns and volunteers, and we are registered as a, what's it called? Presidential Service Award. We can track volunteer hours and recommend presidential service awards for people on volunteering, whether they're volunteering with us or with another organization, by tracking those hours. And that's an incentive. We do have some volunteers, but they're more event volunteers, which we love event volunteers. But we want to be able to be truthful. I almost died last year. And so if I did die, if I didn't come off the ventilator, a lot of things would have fell through the crack. So right now we are applying for other aid that will help us get more people trained, more people. You have to kind of replicate yourself, but with a 2.0 model that's a little bit better than you. So we're trying to build, if that makes any sense.
I have a question from Najon in the chat. It says, are you guys only based out of Syracuse?
We are. We don't have any other branches anywhere, but we have had volunteers that don't live here and they've helped in other ways, like with some, what you call it? Like when you put things out about, oh yeah, that event, or they've done different virtual sort of stuff, or flyers and things like that. So there are many ways you can help, but yeah, there's no other force branch that we know of. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I'm just checking the chat. Go ahead. I'm just checking the chat to see if there are any other questions in the chat. Nothing else in the chat. Anybody else want to come off mute and ask any questions? Oh, Najon is asking for your contact information. And I think I have your website over here.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see. I was told that people wanted to get these, I don't know, is something in front of my email address down there at the bottom or no? Is it good?
Yeah, yep, there's your email address right there, forceny@aol.com.
Yep, that stands for Central New York, for Central New York.
Okay,
So yeah. Yes,
okay,
please contact us.
all right, that's great. Okay, all right, good, good, good. Let's see if there are any other questions in the chat. I don't see any other questions. Anybody wants to come off mute and ask more questions?
I can say
Okay.
this. We designed this QSL card because we heard that Pat had QSL cards and we were not going to be outdone. But the problem is I don't know what to do with these QSL cards. So if somebody wants one, our friend Jesse is going to have to tell me what I fill in on that to send it to them.
Okay, well, so this is a good moment. This is, like I say, a teachable moment. Your QSL card looks very good. And what you would do, what Pat had done, and you can do it as well, is if the students want one, they can send a email to your email address and request one. And what you do is you just fill out where it says confirming QSO with, you would put the person's name. And, obviously the date is the date that you had the communication, which would be today. And the UTC is the time in Universal Coordinated Time. So I have my little handy clock over here. And right now it is 00 hour and 29 minutes. So you could put 0030 if you want in that spot. Megahertz, we're not using a frequency. I actually had to fill out one of these for a personal contact. So it was funny. I put the frequency range of the human voice, which is between 20 hertz and 20 kilohertz. And I thought that was kind of funny. But you don't have to do that. You could just put something that says met, or you could just draw a line through it. RST is signals is basically a rating of signal strength and tone. And so normally for on-air contact, it might be 599 if it's perfect, or 5 something, or 3 something, but in this case it's probably perfect, so you could just say 5.9. And the mode, I like to be jokey when I do these kinds of cards, so I might put something in the mode that says eyeball QSL or zoom, and then the other part where it says QSL PSC, that's please, and TNX is thanks. So if you want someone to send you a card, you would circle the PSE, and what they should do is when they receive your card, they'll write one up that matches the same time and mode and frequency as yours and date, and send it to you. If you circle the PSC, which is, abbreviation for please. If you say thanks, that usually means that you've received a QSL card from someone else. So if I were to send a QSL card to me, you would respond and you'd probably circle the TNX, and then I would know that you had already received my card and you're just saying thanks with your confirmation. So QSL, and we've all, the students have just learned this, and it basically means confirm, or please confirm. And so that's what a QSL card, and it looks like you did a beautiful job on this. This came out really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was holding up one earlier from someone else. So you see how these things are. I've been sending out EQSL cards and certs to some people who have visited. So, right now my printer is not working. Otherwise, I'd send out paper ones. But as soon as I get a new printer, I will happily send out paper ones. to people who want them. So that's the whole QSL story. So as you proceed, as you and your husband proceed in ham radio, and this is to the students as well, you'll collect the fun part of ham radio. One of the fun parts I like is collecting QSL cards. So you'll have a whole wall of QSL cards from all over the world. And they have all kinds of pictures and maps and cool stuff. So I think it's a lot of fun. It's a fun sub hobby of ham radio. And that's my very long answer to your short question.
Well, what I did was I designed it on the computer, the size of a photo 4x6. And then I sent it over to Walgreens and used one of their little codes. So I made some for my husband and myself, but we got a total of 100 cards for like $15.
Oh, that's pretty
good
good.
start. And it was
That's really
ready in
good.
1 hour. 1 hour.
That's really good. That's all right. That's a good idea. I'm glad that you came, Brenda. I appreciate that.
You're
That's,
welcome. You're
I
welcome.
don't have to. I was thinking like, oh my gosh, I got to go to Staples and get a new printer. But okay, that's
No.
good. That's great. Thank you for the tip. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
See, we're all in
yeah.
this. Yes, we're in it together. We're learning. We're all amateurs, and
That's right.
we're taking baby steps to. I can't even remember what my first screen said. Let me act like I know. Baby steps leading towards big steps. So we're making our way. That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Making our way. Well, that's great. I really appreciate you, and thank you for coming, and say hello to your husband across the table there.
Can you say hello, husband? I don't know if you can hear him. He said hello.
Okay, good. Let's
Thank
see.
you,
I
thank
don't
you.
know. Let me just check the chat and make sure there are no other questions. We answered the contact information. So, well, then that's it. Again, I really appreciate you coming out, Brenda. It was a fortuitous um, meeting when we met on EQSO years ago. It seemed like years ago. It was pre-COVID. And it's just interesting that you are also receiving, your organization is also receiving funds from the same organization that's funding our efforts. And that's really good. So we really do have to look out for each other and take care. So with that, I am going to, unless there are any other questions, and I don't see any others, I'm going to say 7 threes to everyone, and really appreciate you coming out. Thank you again. Do you have any last words or 7 threes for the, oh, thank you. You've given us your address. That's great. Excellent.
Thank you so much. So much.
You're
I
very
really
welcome.
appreciate it, and much success to the cohort. It's a journey I look forward to. So I know that this is going to take them many different places, and I thank them. And I thank you.
Thank you so much. And 7 threes, everyone. Everyone have a good night and take good care and stay healthy. All right.
You also.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye,
Bye, everyone. 7 3.